So that if our prime minister, acting prime minister today, travel to Russia and have handshake with Putin, only handshake, I tell you, Nigerian jet, armor tank, police will disappear in Biafra land within 48 hours. Just give it a try.
All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. The zoo has fallen. I'm sorry. I broke down. The zoo has fallen. And today, the cries of the Biafra people will be heard all over the world. I want Biafra people to understand that your cry will be heard all over the world from this day. And we must maintain our stand.
I can see the sinister agenda of the Nigerian government. They have done everything to use the Biafran resources. I'm talking about the oil, I'm talking about the gas, to negotiate with the Finnish government, all in the bid to return, repatriate, and extradite Simon Ekpa. In that video that we just saw, you can see that the ambassador of Finnish government has been brought back to Nigeria by Bianca Ojukwu, and of course the foreign minister. They have been able to have this political conversation and of course deal. And what they bargained on was your oil for Simon Ekpa. If you give us oil, if you give us the gas that we have in Imo State, of course Simon Ekpa will be a small fry. Now, it is left for us to see if this is another scam or maybe Finnish governments are now planning to compromise and betray their own citizen. But who am I to undermine or to doubt that the West will betray a Simon Ekpa? Let me tell you one thing. The West, this includes the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and of course the European Union, has always been known to kick the black man under the bus for their own selfish interests. The same thing is going on with Ayuba Chopper in, I think, in Denmark or Norway, who has also been held extrajudiciously. They keep extending in his court case. Now they are talking about extraditing him also back to his own homeland. Now, the West have one thing. They do not play with their own personal interest. I, as a Biafran supporter, will advise my Biafrans that now is the time to look to the East. Just as the name implies, the rising sun from the East, Biafra. Your support lies in the East. Your support lies with the Russians. It lies with the allies of Russians. The likes of BRICS, China. If Biafra are ready and serious, they must pally up, because Finnish governments, as it stands now, have compromised. Let us listen to the voice of Biafra.
So that if our prime minister, acting prime minister today, travel to Russia and have handshake with Putin, only handshake, I tell you, Nigerian jet, armor tank, police will disappear in Biafra land within 48 hours. Just give it a try. That only handshake only will put them off. But I don't know why our leaders are afraid or don't want to look towards that area.
Absolutely nothing will deter us. Nothing will stop us. So on this note, I want to bring to the notice of all Biafrans, and that ship is on course. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu, or you all should remember, he is with the Nigerian DSS today because of what we are doing. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu has said, instead of Biafra not to come, Nigeria will be burned to ashes. And I promise you today, instead of Biafra not to come, we, every single individual in Biafra government, in all the structures that our PM has laid down, we will burn Nigeria down. And any country, both international and in homeland, that tries to tamper, that tries to intervene, that tries to stop this restoration, that country will get the brunt of Biafra.
Welcome back. Now, the talk out there is that the Finnish government have concluded that they do not have any need for Simon the Ekpa. Simon Ekpa. Simon, the son of Ekpa. They said they do not have any need for him in Finland. Now, Simon Ekpa used to be married to a Finnish citizen, and he has children who are Finnish citizens. But the European Union law and the Finnish law stipulate and states that any third world national who has naturalized, or any individual who has a second citizenship and he or she is found in acts of terrorism or funding terrorism or sponsoring terrorism, such a person can have his or her citizenship revoked and then deported to country of source. And in the case of Simon Ekpa, Nigeria is the country of source. Simon Ekpa has denounced Nigeria, and I do not know if it is possible for you to be stateless. It is not possible. You cannot be stateless. You just have to hold on to a particular nation. When Simon Ekpa applied to be a Finnish citizen, he had done so being a Nigerian citizen. And it is documented that Simon Ekpa is a Nigerian, and he will be deported back or extradited back to Nigeria. Now, this is the arrangement. This is the talk. But we are hoping that such drastic steps are not taken. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that prison in Finland is a place to enjoy and relax. No. Finnish prison, particularly the one that Simon Ekpa has been placed, is not an holiday inn or hotel. The prison where he has been detained is one of the notorious prisons where hardened criminals are detained or imprisoned. March, which is coming in some couple of days, is the arraignment of Simon Ekpa in Finland. According to the Finnish police, or let's say special police, they said that they have gathered enough information on Simon Ekpa, and the information that they have gathered so far, it is enough for them to prosecute Simon Ekpa. Do not forget that this is not the first time Simon Ekpa was called, or let's say invited. There was a time Simon Ekpa wanted to travel to Israel. That is what we heard. Simon Ekpa was stopped, and he had to be called in. He was investigated. He was questioned, quizzed, interrogated by the Finnish special police, and they pointed to some transfer of money in and out. Don't forget that for IPOB to function, or any movement to function, there is always going to be a need for funds. Funds are very important in carrying out whatever activity. Now, this all started when Nnamdi Kanu realized if care is not taken, his people will be wiped out due to the lackadaisical attitude of the then President Buhari. He came up with Instant Security Network. I do understand that if Instant Security Network is given the opportunity to thrive, they will become powerful, and before you say Jack Robinson, they will become a private militia, and then a guerrilla kind of warfare will begin, and with strength being gathered, weapons will be acquired, and then Biafra can determine the day or choose a date to say to declare emancipation. And the same thing that happened during Ojuku's period, which is a bit complex, might come up again. What I mean is a civil war could commence again. They knew that if Eastern Security Network becomes capable, there is a possibility that splinter groups will come out of it, which is true. Splinter groups will come out of Eastern Security Network. Someone will claim that one general is not acting appropriately, and so therefore he wants to have his own. And don't forget that governors in the southeast of Nigeria, many of them have businesses all over the place. Some of them don't want breakup of Nigeria. They will also create their own kind of opposition. And once that is gotten, there will be chaos in the southeast of Nigeria. This is some of the things that we saw. So when Nnamdi Kanu came up with Eastern Security Network, it became a fight to finish between the state-owned military and Eastern Security Network. Till today, there are still issues surrounding that. Now, Simon Ekpa moved in using the framework that Nnamdi Kanu created, and he made it his own. He came up with sit at home and some other action. In fact, he went against the DOS, which is the committee raised up by Nnamdi Kanu to foresee the movement should such that happened to him happens, and the extraordinary rendition or whatever it is. But Simon Ekpa said, no, we are in autopilot. He didn't because DSS didn't accept or agree to his terms and conditions or what he wanted. So he went on with his autopilot, and he got a lot of following. But one thing that strikes out is this. Nnamdi Kanu and his brother and the legal representative of Ipob issued a disclaimer stating that Simon Ekpa is a vagabond, that Simon Ekpa should not be trusted, that Simon Ekpa is a liar, a fraudster, and has nothing to do with Nnamdi Kanu. That is what they said. Now, they could have said this because Simon Ekpa did not follow through with the DOS, which a lot of people said is bound to fail and fall. The arrest of Nnamdi Kanu made IPOB weak because they could not voice out, they could not approach emancipation the way Nnamdi Kanu came into it, the way Nnamdi Kanu speaks. They could not reiterate, they could not repeat, they could not expand on Biafra. Simon Ekpa was the only one that could flow in the same wavelength of Nnamdi Kanu. But because Nnamdi Kanu was brought into Nigeria, showing the strength and might of the Nigerian government, and when I say Nigerian government, I'm not mentioning a particular tribe, because from what we heard, the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu did not happen by itself alone. What I mean is, it didn't happen with some people in the north of Nigeria angry that Nigeria is going to break apart. It happened in conjunction with the kinsmen of Nnamdi Kanu, tribesmen of Nnamdi Kanu. They sponsored the extraordinary rendition. They got someone, they said a female who speaks the language. That female got in contact with Nnamdi Kanu. Obviously, a standard organization will have clearance. Definitely. And I'm very sure that Nnamdi Kanu would have spoken to such a person continuously, maybe on video call, on audio call, conversation back and forth. The thing is, this woman said, let's meet in Kenya. The rest is history. Was he lured, seduced, whatever, with financial gain, whatever? The thing is, Nnamdi Kanu opened his eyes, saw himself in captivity, opened his eyes again, and saw himself in Nigeria. So with Simon Ekpa's situation, And the Finnish government interested in the resources in Nigeria, one, and also interested in making money from Nigeria. They said, we have technology to supply you electricity. Let us be part of the game player here. We want to be part of it. So to them, Nigeria and its opportunity is more beneficial to Finland than Simon, the son of Ekpa.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.